Hi guys, so the UK government has a new excuse for not taking in more refugees. What is it? Well, the president of Ukraine doesn't want us to. So Michael Green, apologies, not Michael Green, I meant to say Sebastian Fox. Sorry again, not Sebastian Fox. Grant Shapps, the Transport Secretary, was invited onto Sky News to explain why his government has issued so few visas for people to come to Britain. He tried to use the old line, "The UK is far away," but the journalist somewhat called him out on it. Have a listen.
You've seen the numbers, Mr. Shapps. You've seen that some 500 visas have been accepted. 500 visas accepted. No idea how many Ukrainians have actually come here. It's shameful, isn't it, the way that the UK has handled this refugee crisis in Europe?
760 granted now, 22,000 applications which are on their way through. Look, I don't agree with you. No country has given more humanitarian assistance to Ukraine than the United Kingdom. In the world, we've given £400 million.
Well, I've just heard that the United States has offered, I think, 1.5 billion.
In addition, the British people have been incredibly generous as well. Geographically, we are, of course, spaced further to the west. And President Zelenskyy and the Ukrainian government have told me that they do not want people to move far away.
I think Zelenskyy would like people to be safe. Look, he probably doesn't want people permanently moving away. He would like people to eventually, once this war is over, to come back and help with the reconstruction of the country. But once again, as this has been highlighted on a number of occasions, there is one country in Europe that is further away from Ukraine than the UK is. I wonder what that country is.
If at all possible, in the country, because they want people to be able to come back. Having said that, we have two schemes, one of which allows up to 200,000 Ukrainians here. That's the extended family scheme, and it does extend to all parts of somebody's family, aunts and uncles and that sort of thing. And then, of course, we've also announced a sponsorship route, again, for those people without family ties and unlimited. So
the problem with the sponsorship one is that you need somebody in the country who's willing to sponsor you. And it seems that the Ukrainians have to do all the legwork themselves, that the government is not providing sufficient services available for those who want to host a family or an individual from Ukraine.
You know, we are really leaning into this at the same time respecting Ukraine's wishes, the government's wishes, not to pull people a long way away from Ukraine, which is not something that they want to see happen. But as ever shown,
this is the Brexit party basically running the country. We don't want immigrants here. So if we can come up with an excuse for not taking these people in, we're going to do that.
The British generosity, particularly in humanitarian support, as the largest donor nation.
Absolutely right. Lots of money's been given and lots of people are giving up things for Ukrainians. But the geographical thing doesn't quite work when Ireland's taken some 2,000 people and people in Calais are stuck at the border unable to come in.
I think it's right that, and people would expect us to be wanting to check people's status before they come in. We know.
Now, unfortunately, Grant Shapps did not answer this question. The journalist raised the point, and unfortunately, and this is a problem with many journalists, they put two questions into one question. He should have just said, "What about Ireland?" and left it at that, and let Grant Shapps try to, wiggle his way out of it. But what he did was he included two questions here, and Grant Shapps responded to the second part and not the first part, as you'll see.
We know that Russia are involved in all sorts of all manner of operations. So it's absolutely right to check that somebody's come from Ukraine, know who is coming to this country, essentially, and that's what we're doing. But we will. Undoubtedly have a lot of Ukrainians come here to seek refuge. They'll be incredibly welcomed by the population, by the local authorities, by the government. We've shown...
Not by the government, by the local population, yes. not by the government. No, you are putting barriers in place. And once again, of course, avoiding the point here that, yes, we're far away, but Ireland is actually further away, and Ireland has taken in more people.
And that huge generosity, this country. I mean, most people probably don't realize that over 100,000, for example, Hong Kong Chinese have taken up.
And I was talking about something else, completely unrelated. So, yeah, what about Hong Kong? What about Syria? What about other countries? We're talking about Ukraine at the moment. And you have put in new measures to block them from coming in. You have made it more difficult for them to get into the country. You're not making it easier. You're claiming, yes, the government, and I'm not talking about the British people, because the British people want to help Ukrainians. The vast majority want to help Ukrainians. The government do not. And I've covered it before. Why do the government not want to do that? Because they want to keep a small minority happy.
Their right of citizenship that we've granted, 25,000 from Syria. This country has always been incredibly generous. But as I say, I do want to stress, President Zelenskyy has asked us to proceed in the way that we are doing.
Zelenskyy is not saying, don't take people in. I've said this before, and this makes sense from any point of view. A country is struggling at the moment. Young people, families are moving away. Zelenskyy doesn't want that on a permanent basis. He would like these people to eventually come back, as I said, to help rebuild the country. But it's not, we don't want people to go too far away because we'd like them to come back. And of course, racists and Brexiteers are jumping on this to say, see, that means that we don't have to take in any people, or we take in as few as possible.
I do agree with you with the need to make sure that there are sufficient places for people to be able to access that visa support. An office in Lille has just been set up. Paris is available. I checked last night. There are appointments available for people who are making their way west. But as I say,
But not in Calais. The people arriving in Calais, believing, well, this is where I'm going to cross into the UK, and they're being told, no, you have to go to Paris. There's a bit of a distance between Calais and Paris. And these people have to spend money to go to Paris, and in some cases have to wait for days for these offices to open in order to actually get the visas. No other country is doing this. This is a disgrace. Not a disgrace for the British people. It's a disgrace for this government. The British people want to open their doors. They want to welcome these people in, these refugees. Idiots like this guy want to put up the barriers. And isn't it interesting about Brexiteers and barriers? Barriers to trade and barriers to refugees.
No country outperforms the United Kingdom when it...
Just shut up, Michael Green. Sorry, I keep calling him Michael Green. I don't know why I keep calling him Michael Green. It's Grant Shapps. Shut up, Grant. You don't care about these people. You've never cared about these people, and you're just looking for excuses not to take them in. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. And once again, I have to raise this point about journalists. They should ask pointed questions. For example, when he talked about, geographical location, the journalist should have responded with one word: Ireland. Tell me about Ireland. Don't mix two questions into one, because it allows the politician to get out of the real issue here. The real issue here is that he's trying to say, we're far away, we don't need to take these people, we don't need to take these people in, we're off the hook. But if the journalist was good, he would have said, well, what about Ireland? Tell me about Ireland. Why has Ireland taken in so many? Why has Ireland taken in more than us? Or just, you said geographical location, Ireland. That should be it.